Hello, welcome back to the pod. I am still Emma, and I am still sitting on my couch. That's what I'm doing. And welcome back to the pod. Welcome back to Thinking on It, which is what I decided to call the pod. So I had a bunch of names that I thought were like kind of fun. I also thought about just not naming it, but then like, what do you do? Like, it would have a name anyway. So I had all these names, and then I started like looking them up on Spotify, and like all of them already existed, and I was like, oh, that's a bummer. So when I thought of thinking on it, I said, not gonna even look it up. So there's a good chance that there's probably 8 other podcasts out there that are also called Thinking on It, and good for them. Those people, I'm happy to share that name, and I do hope that it's not a problem. And if it is, I can always change it because I'm not like emotionally connected or anything to the title at this moment in time. But I just thought it was like kind of fun. And I don't know. It's what I ended my last pod kind of saying, like the last ep. How many things can I abbreviate? That's a fun thing. Any word can be abbreviated. What's that word? I can't do it, but it's like the why use more word when less word do same, that thing. So I'm a big advocate of that. So the first thing that I wanted to talk about today was obsessively wearing clothes. Now, I know that I'm not alone in doing this, or at least I'm thinking I'm not, but you can't see it very well because I still don't have like a nice camera, and currently that's not of importance to me, but this is my future self shirt. And then I'm also wearing pants. They also say future self. I can't be bothered to show you guys. So you're just going to have to take my word for it, but obsessively wearing clothes. So I will buy clothing and then it's all I want to wear. It's all I want to wear. And like basically I will buy it and then I will like just live in it. I will wash it and then immediately put it back on. Like these are fresh out of the dryer. Are these flattering? Not how I choose to wear them. I think that they can be. Like I really think that they have the potential to look cute, especially the crew neck. Like the crew neck you could really like make it look good. I choose though to match it with the joggers, and on my person personally, that isn't like putting out a look that you're like, wow, she is gorgeous. I still feel good in it and I feel confident and whatnot, but it's like definitely a cozy look, and that tends to be where the obsessively wearing portion comes into it. I'm not like personally going out and buying a new ballroom gown and then that's the only thing I'm wearing. It is 9 out of 10 times like cozies that I'm choosing to wear. And to go with the outfit, hey, for my audio only listeners, which I don't have any listeners, but I just like that. It's like fun to, I'm going to use the word cosplay lightly, but it's fun to cosplay as a podcast host. That's like what I feel like I'm doing, and it's literally so much fun. It's such a fun hobby. I really would recommend everybody does it. Anywho, dad. These are my beautiful socks. I got them from Target. They're fuzzy and plaid, and they're beautiful. And what if I sound like this for the rest of the pod? I kind of might. It's pretty comfortable. I didn't know how I like looked sitting like this. It kind of makes me look tall. Anyway, yes, going back to obsessively wearing clothes. So let's talk about Future Self. If you don't know, it is Alfie Day's clothing brand, and I never purchased any because like I liked the stuff, but I never liked it like all that much. Like I liked it, but I'm across the pond, and the shipping across the pond is quite a bit. So it was never like worth it to me. But as we mentioned in my first ep, I was in my materialistic era, and part of that was for sure purchasing these, and like I'm so happy I did. I've been in the market for joggers for a really long time because the only, or like sweatpant jogger things, whatever. The only ones I had were from my high school swim team, and I'm about 5 years out of high school or so. So I thought that I was due for some new ones because I have my high school swim team sweatpants, and then I have my, get this, 2012 synchronized swimming sweatpants. I was due for some new ones. And so far these are doing the trick. I really like them. They're this beautiful green, like, I wouldn't say sage. I don't know what you would call this. Because it's also, mint is such an arbitrary term for a color, because like a mint color can be like, if it's actually mint leaves, I don't know. I might say this is mint-esque. I can't tell you what the color is. Alfie will on the website. But anyway, they're a lovely little nice green color, not too dark, just beautiful. And then the top is this pinky color, and I don't own anything that's pink because I'm not really a pink girl. But this spoke to me. Well, I actually wanted the green, and then they didn't have the green. So I got the green for the pants, and then I went the pink for the top, and I'm actually really glad that I did because I think it looks lovely on me. I think it's really nice. So the top is like, it's like a almost a mix between a crew neck and a long sleeve tee, which to me is the perfect shirt. Like, this is the perfect shirt. It's a lightweight crew neck. It's really nice quality. I'm just obsessed with it, and I cannot stop wearing it. And like, I don't want to wear it to work because when I get home from work, like, I have to change because I'll smell like a corn mill otherwise. I work at a corn mill, by the way. So I have to change because I smell like corn fiber. Anyway, so I haven't worn it to work because I want to wear it like every night, every other night of the week, basically. But I would wear it to work. I just love it. So that's the first thing that I really wanted to talk about, was obsessively wearing clothes, because this is not the first time that I have obsessively worn clothes. It's honestly what I always do. I've gotten better about dressing myself, but it was never like a strong suit for me. So yes, I'm gonna have a sip of water. I don't know why I drink it like that. So like, don't worry about it. But we talk about my cup. Look at my fun cup. It's covered in stickers, like a basic human, because I'm just like everybody else. What about it? What about it? I'm not. I'm a little unique, but like everybody's a little unique, you know? Whatever. Anyways, so today, let's do a little maybe baby recap / what we're looking forward to coming up, because that's like fun. That's fun. Baby recap. So today I did a nice deep clean of my home. It was the first sort of deep clean I've done of my home. So I vacuumed all the floors and Swiffered all the floors and the surfaces. Nobody wants to hear about how I cleaned. I feel great about it though. I feel like my house smells lovely and I feel fresh in it. So that was good and fun. I went to a craft outing. There's a group in Chicago, and they do what they call BYOCs, bring your own craft events. And so it was at this little like brewery coffee shop thing, which loved, like, so cute, so fun. I think that that's the perfect hybrid of a place. Throw in like a little pizza shop or something, and they had food too. It was like perfect. It was called Pilot Brewing, I believe. I only got a coffee, and it was delightful. I got like a yummy mocha because it's October and I wanted it. And so I brought my crochet stuff, made a few squares, learned some new things that I didn't know. Um, so it was just really fun. Like I had a great time, and I'm gonna do it again. I was only there for like an hour and a half or so, and it was just lovely. Um, I then went to a vintage fest today, is what they called it. It's a in the neighborhood I live in, and you best believe that the first vendor I looked through their stuff, they did have a Steelers crew neck, and I said, all right, well, guess that's mine now. So I bought it because that's all I do when I go to vintage. When I go to like vintage fests and stuff, like they had them in Minneapolis when I lived there. I if something is related to Pittsburgh or even just the state of Pennsylvania, which there's not a lot of like I would never get a Philly thing, but I have this one sweatshirt that's from like middle of nowhere Pennsylvania, and I found it in Minneapolis, and I was like, I have to have it. So yeah, anytime something is like Pittsburgh related, I have to have it. So I did buy that. And I didn't haggle. Is that the word? That's such a gross word. I don't like that word. I'm going to not use it ever again. But I guess that's what I did. I don't know. It was basically the sweatshirt was $34, and I went up to the really nice like lady and I was like, "Hey, would you take 30 for this?" And she was like, "Yeah, you betcha." So I got it, and then I washed it, and it's really cute and I love it, and I'm so glad I bought it. So I did that today as well. Um, and that's pretty much it for what I did today. It's a pretty big, eventful day. Let's move into what's going to happen during the week, what we've got coming up. My roommate, who I'm gonna say my roommate, even though she's not my roommate anymore, but she'll always be my roommate. Like she'll always be my roommate. So my roommate is coming to visit on. She's coming on Thursday, I believe. That's the current plan, and then I took Friday off, and we have brunch plans and dinner reservations, and we're going to a concert on Friday. So I'm really, really looking forward to that. It's the first time I'm like having a visitor that's not, my mom. And my mom came like when I moved in. So it's really my first visitor ever in my new place. I'm really excited about it. I think we're going to have so much fun. And it got me thinking, like, I love to plan and I love to be a planner. I like to have things to do, like a good variety and list. But the way like Grace and I are friends, this is my roommate by the way. Like we were what I like to call casual friends. We did plan stuff together. Don't get me wrong. Like we did our birthdays together. We went on a spring break. So we did like big plans, but we rarely would like plan actual events. We were more so like, let's sit our ass on the couch and let's watch all of the Hunger Games movies without like having planned it. And so we would do things like that. And that was just sort of like our core friendship would be that, and like talking to each other and crafting. We did a lot of sitting on the couch and crafting together. So I was thinking, I was like, when people come to visit, you could plan a million things and do this and that. But like, I don't have to. And honestly, I don't think I should for all of it. I could make a million reservations. But I just don't think that that's the vibe. We have one day of like our busy day where we have brunch and then a few hours and then dinner and then concert. And then I don't have plans after the concert. I'm assuming we're going to go out and maybe drink, go out. I always call that an extracurricular activity. I don't I've I don't know why. It's just like I've always said that. Like when I try and I don't like saying like, "Oh, we're going to go drinking." Or, like we're going to go to the bars. I don't know. That's just like not the first thing that comes to my head, genuinely. like the first thing that does come to my head is extracurricular activities. Like we're gonna go do an extracurricular. So I have a feeling we're gonna do that after the concert, but I also wouldn't be surprised if we didn't and we just came back to my home and like sat on the couch and went to bed. But I don't know. We're fun people, so maybe we'll hit the town. But I haven't really planned like that, which is, I think, good. Maybe, I don't know. I should do more research on like where we would actually go. Anywho, Dad. So I'll think on that. Um, on Saturday though, I didn't make any plans. We don't have any reservations. We have no food plans. Like I have a list of things that we could do, and there's a lot. I mean, it's not only is it Chicago, like there's always a lot, but like Grace has only been here once before, so like there's it's endless possibilities, truly. But at our core, like I think we need to not have plans because that's how Grace and I operate. And so with that, I like got to thinking, and I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna like fully stock the fridge and stuff because I don't want to like assume that we're gonna go out to eat every day too. Like I don't know, that's just not us. Like I don't think that that's the relationship vibe for us. Maybe it is, and that would be fine too. But I was like thinking about it, and I was like, we can do whatever we want. Growing up, I loved sleepovers. Like I loved hosting sleepovers. I would always make them a theme. And like we would have so much fun at my sleepovers. So like some of my themes, they would all be pretty much my birthday. Were like the big ones. I did the like the sort of craziest one or whatever. I did a like fancy dinner party themed sleepover where we like put a nice table out, and my grandma came down with like her china, and we washed all of the china, and my like mom and dad, I don't remember what we had for dinner, but my dad like put on a tuxedo and was our waiter and all my friends came over and we all like looked kind of nice and cute. I mean, we were in like our awkward middle school age, you know, like that stage of life where you just don't really look good in anything and you are just an awkward person. But they all came over. My mom like did all of our hair, and yeah, my dad was our waiter, and it was literally so cute and wholesome. Like thinking back on that, I'm like, oh, that's so fun and cute. So that was one of the parties I did. I did a Halloween themed one for my birthday once. My birthday, not near Halloween. So I decided that I would celebrate my birthday about a month early because I wanted to, and that was fun. So I did a Halloween themed birthday party, and we did like the punch bowl that has like the floating hand ice cube in it, and you know, themed food and themed this and that. So I did that one. I did a One Direction one, naturally. And once again, I'm pretty sure I moved my birthday for that because I had it so we would wake up and it would be 1D day, which if you know, you know. But for those of you that don't know, One Direction did like this all day. I don't know how long it was. It wasn't all day, but they did this live stream. And we like crowded around my family's like computer in our computer room, which is what I called it. And that's what it's always been called. But we like crowded around there and watched 1D Day. And like by the end of it, the only ones that stayed around was my friend Harley. And like we were in there for the long haul. So like anyway, I had a One Direction themed birthday where like we bought the One Direction boys on like a piece of fondant or something, and like you could stick it onto fondant or something onto a cake. I don't remember where we got it. I remember it like didn't taste good because I don't think we like it just wasn't good. It was like thick fondant, like it was kind of grody. Anyway, that was my One Direction one. Let's see, did I do any other ones? I know I had one that was just like one of my like earlier memories. We did like icebreakers and I came up with games, and it was just like so much fun. So I loved doing sleepovers. I would send out invitations, like themed ones. Where like one of them I like remember burning the edges of the paper so it looked like antique and then rolling it up and tying it. Like I went all out. So I'm not exactly doing that when Grace comes to visit, but I'm sort of doing like an elevated version of that, I guess you could say. Because I just want it to be like so much fun and I want her to feel just so at home and so happy to be here. And like I just love to host, so it brings me a lot of joy. So like I got a futon. She has her own room, which I love, but I'm gonna get like I need to go out and buy new sheets and stuff because I just need I need a new set in general. But yeah, I'm gonna like do up her bed all nice, and then I bought like a bathrobe, and I'm gonna do these like goodie bags almost. So for those of you that don't know, and I'm gonna talk about this a million times probably on this podcast, I love xoxo and her vlogs, and her friend Mark they have like sleepovers all the time because Mark like will come and stay. Less so now because she has a full-on child, but she would like do up the guest room all nice and put out like a tray of goodies of like nice things. So this is not an original idea. I'm fully stealing it, and that's fine. But I'm gonna do a tray of stuff, and I want to let's read out what I have currently that I want to put on there, and maybe we can brainstorm some more. But right now I have nail polish because like that would be cute and fun. Little soaps, or shampoos, conditioner, a sleep mask, like a little eye mask, because I have one that I've like never used, so I'll probably put that in there. A chapstick, some like scrunchies, extra hair ties, any other hair products in general. Like I'm kind of tempted to like I don't know. I don't exactly. I'm kind of tempted to like get products that I love and put them in there so like she could try them, but then I don't know. That seems like a lot of work and money. So I'm not sure about that one quite yet because the soaps and stuff is already like kind of that, I guess. Eye masks. I love eye masks. I don't even know if Grace likes them. I feel like it's hard to not like them, They feel so nice. I want to get like the Peter Thomas Roth ones that are just in a giant tub. Let me know if you have any. I mean, there's nobody listening. But I want like another big old, like a nice eye mask brand that you get a bang for your buck, I'm sick and tired of spending $5 for one set of eye masks. That's crazy. Anywho. Oh, and then like snacks. I think that's fun. Like putting some of my favorite snacks in there. Sorry, there's like a tiny fly and it's bothering me. Anywho. Yeah, so some snacks. And then, I don't know, maybe I'll put like extra toothpaste in there just in case. I mean, I don't think she's going to forget it because like she knows she's coming here and we've had this in the books for so long. She's so cute. She posted on her Snapchat story, like she posted a picture and the comment was like, all this week I've been thinking about how I get to see Emma next week. Isn't that so cute? Like it could make me cry. It's so wholesome. So anyway, I'm doing that. And then I think I am just going to sort of like stock the fridge because we are at the end of the day like so much homebodies and snackers. Like we love a snack. We love to be cozy and do cozy things. So I'm going to be stocking the fridge. I'm going to get ice cream because you just can't go wrong. And also I want to say like I want to get mainly things that if we don't use it, I can then like use, like it won't go bad right away, or it's something that like I wouldn't be interested in. Like I just wanted to preface that. So ice cream, right? Like that doesn't go bad. It can just sit in my freezer. Vitamin water for our extracurricular activities. I feel like it's always good to have some vitamin water. I feel like, I mean, Gatorade's also good, but Grace and I are more vitamin water people at the end of the day. I think I can go both ways. I can swing both ways, Gatorade or vitamin water, but like with Grace, it's more vitamin but water themed. I don't really know what that says about us. Kombucha. Don't know if kombucha is like actually good for you or if it's bad for you. I don't know. I like it though, and so does Grace, I think. Next, onto some meals. I'm gonna keep Trader Joe's orange chicken in the freezer. The last time Grace and I hung out, we absolutely destroyed an entire bag. So I'm gonna keep that in the freezer. Also gonna buy some pre-made rice that you can just pop in that microwave. Mac and cheese (parentheses box). Also a Grace and Emma staple. I also have ramen, a Grace and Emma staple. We're not healthy when we're together. No, Grace and I are both very, I don't know, we pride ourselves, I think, on being healthy, or like that, like it's important to both of us. We both are gym people, so, but not on this event, not anymore when we're together. Bagels, cream cheese, tomatoes. I have lox. I feel like that's a fun breakfast thing or snack or lunch or whatever. And then I kind of want to do an omelet bar. And by an omelet bar, I mean like I just want to make omelets for both of us, because I feel like that's sort of a fun way to like elevate without going crazy. And she's, like I said, we're healthy sometimes, and like breakfast is, she's an egg girl. Now for snacks, we got cheese board fixins. You best believe I'm doing a charcuterie. When Grace visits, the charcutie's involved. And I mean, if it's just us two, like it's normally like a couple of cheeses and like that's it. And a couple crackers. It's a small charcuterie, it's not a whole shindig going on. The best, I don't know if this is a hack or what, but if you go to Whole Foods, you can get they've got like little cheese sample things for like $2, and it's like the ugly pieces of cheese that they couldn't sell, And I say, give me all that ugly cheese. I want it, because it's rotten cheap. And then like for a charcuterie, it's perfect because you don't need like an $8 block of cheese. That's too much cheese for just like two people. So I'm gonna go do that. I'm gonna go to Whole Foods, and that's about the only thing that like is economically efficient at Whole Foods is their charcuterie. So yes, that's happening. I'm gonna get string cheese because Grace loves string cheese. Pitas and hummus. That's just like a good standard to have. And then I'm gonna get some boxed brownie mix because I don't have any here, and I feel like that's a fun staple, and like it's just a fun way to like have something to do sort of spontaneously. So if we are being cozy, it's the same thing with like this sort of goodie bag or the eye masks. Like it's a fun way to just like make staying home a little bit special, and to like make it a little bit special. So I'm gonna get some boxed brownie mix because I think that's good. That's all I currently have on my list, but I think it's fun to like have a fully stocked fridge and not like assume we're gonna go out to eat all the time or plan. Because I was thinking about it, I was like, I'm gonna have to make so many reservations, and I was like, no, I literally don't. So I'm like really excited for Grace to come visit and for us to have this sleepover. Like this is my first sleepover since I was like, I don't know, middle school, high school maybe. I don't know when I like stopped having them, and when I stopped having them like how I had used to have them. And I missed it so much because like I didn't really do it in college. Like we kind of did, but not, it's not like this. Like this is like the first of hopefully many. One of the only goals that we have to do is like we have to plan the next trip. So whether I'm going to her or she'll come back here, don't know yet. I'll probably go to her, gotta split them up equally. And like I have to bother her and her boyfriend and stay at their house or not house, their apartment. But yeah, I would be more than happy if she just wanted to keep coming here. That'd be fine as well. Oh my God, something else I wrote down that I want to do is a Harry Potter drinking game with Harry Potter cocktails. That sounds like so much fun. I love Harry Potter, as we discussed in the first episode. Not in like an extreme way, but also there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't even know what extreme means. So it's probably in an extreme way, actually. So I'm going to redact that entire sentence. That entire sentence, redacted, didn't happen. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't say a word. I am into Harry Potter. And so Grace read the Harry Potter books like junior year of college and like loved them. And then she watched all the movies, and now it's like that's also what we do. Like we have since, I don't know if we've watched them all twice through. I don't remember. We've definitely watched all of them through, all the way through, at least once together. I calculated how many hours of my life I've spent watching Harry Potter, and it's something like 19 days. That's crazy. And if I continue that for the rest of my life, it's like a scary amount of time that I will have spent just watching Harry Potter, because it's such a like cozy feel good for me. And now that Grace also likes it, like that's just what we do. It's so easy to throw it on. It's so easy to throw it on. So yeah, I'm kind of tempted that we might do that one night. Is like, so I need to also add things to the list for the Harry Potter cocktails, because those won't go bad. But I'm thinking like pretty much just a butterbeer drink would be like really fun and delicious. So we might do that as well. I would not be surprised if we do that. But yeah, that's my plan for this upcoming week. Sorry I talked about it for probably 20 minutes. I've been talking about Grace. I hope she doesn't care. Nobody knows that I have this podcast and I'm just outwardly like talking about people on it. So I'm just kind of hoping it's not a problem. Okay, we talked about obsessively wearing clothes. That one was crazy. We've talked about my obsession of Harry Potter a little bit. I'm trying to think if there's like, oh, here's something I wanted to talk about. So I've been thinking about this a lot. You know how the holidays, right? You like, when you're younger, you write a list just to Santa, and then your parents basically then know what to buy you. And like that's such a life hack, and that's great. But then like for me, when I stopped writing letters to Santa, which like spoiler alert, so sorry if I spoiled that for any of you out there. Like I felt weird to like write a list of things that I want and then like give that to, like that was weird. And I was an only child and I talk a lot. Clearly I talk a lot. So I like didn't really need to write them a list of things I want, because I would just we would talk all the time. They kind of would pick up on things and this and that. But now that I've moved away, I don't talk to them as much about things that I want, or I have my own income so I can just go buy something I want. And it's very complicated. And I was thinking that there should be, oh, there's another layer to this before I get to that. Also, when you're a kid, do you remember like sitting at the table and I would go through catalogs and like you'd circle the things that you like wanted? And it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And like I want to bring that back. So I wanted to make this app, except for I don't know how to make an app. So I'm going to do a little verbal trademark here. Sorry, my nose is stuffy. There should be an app where you go online shopping where it's like an old catalog and you can circle the items that you want, and then you can like allow certain people to follow you just like any other social media. So like you could, have your family, your friends, like you could do it for work parties, literally anything. And then, maybe there's like a feature where you can check stuff off your list that you've bought, or like somebody else can check it off your list if they bought it for you, so you don't get like doubles. So it's a great idea because not only it solves the problem of not knowing what to buy people, but it also brings back the nostalgia of going through the catalogs and circling what you want. Like, isn't that so fun? And it was like you would go through and circle it, not even in hopes that you were going to get it, but just because it's fun to do. So you could also have like a private one And like maybe you could filter it. I don't know. Like stores would maybe have to like supply their own catalog, or they would have to like market with this company, and they would, we get a graphic designer that would advertise the products in a catalog format. I don't know. I think it's a great idea. Personally, I think it's like such a fun idea for an app, and I think that like that should exist. So, verbal trademark on that. Just by the way, so that's my app idea. Thank you for coming to my idea segment of the pod. I've been like debating on whether or not I want to make this podcast more structured or if I'm okay with rambling. I like the idea of doing a like week recap / like what to look forward to, just because I think it's fun to like talk about, and I don't know, it's nice to talk about things that I'm looking forward to just sort of remind yourself about those. So I like that. But then maybe I would do like a section where I do like an idea section if I'm having any ideas. Just like my app, that's an idea section. But I don't know. But then I just have like random things I want to talk about. Okay. Oh, something else that I kind of want to do with Grace. I'm going to go back to talking about Grace. Welcome to welcome to episode 2 of Thinking on It. In this episode, we're talking about Grace. The person like none of you know. Like that's so funny. And nobody's listening. So it's just great. Anywho, Grace and I should have a flat Stanley. Do you know what I'm talking about? You guys know about flat Stanley? Oh my god, does this generation, like this new generation of people, not know about flat Stanley? Was there flat Stanley in other countries? I have so many questions about flat Stanley. I'm about to Google flat Stanley. But basically, I think it was a book. Was it a book? Oh my god. Ew, he looks so different now. Oh, ew. 50th anniversary? Oh my god, flat Stanley's an elder. 50's not an elder, by the way. I was Oh, actually he is an elder because Flat Stanley debuted on January 1st of 1926. What? Let's read about Flat Stanley. Children's book series written by author Jeff Brown. Oh, that was Jeff Brown's birthday. Not Flat Stanley. Jeff Brown was born January 1st of 1926, and he sadly passed December 3rd, 2003. But anyway, may he rest. I just love, Flat Stanley was born in 1964. And then he published 5 more books 2 decades afterwards. Oh, I love Flat Stanley. I don't remember what happens. Oh, so he gets flattened by a bulletin board while sleeping? That's like a nightmare. That's so scary. He's otherwise uninjured. Okay, he's just flat. He's not injured though. He just be flat. He tries to make the best of being flat. Aww. He can enter locked rooms by sliding under doors. That's awesome. He's used as a kite. That's kind of rude. He helps catch art thieves. Wow. Oh, but then he gets tired of his flatness and his brother restores his proper shape with a bicycle pump. Whoa, that's crazy. But anyway, the Flat Stanley Project. Oh my god, yeah, it was started by a 3rd grade school teacher in London. What? Oh, under the direction of Dale Hubert, a 3rd grade school teacher in London, Ontario, Canada. I don't know what that means. Yeah, so I'm not going to exactly go into what this other school did, but what my school did was I was in 2nd grade and we all made little Flat Stanleys, and then you like gave it to your family member or you mailed it around, and your family member like took pictures with Flat Stanley, and then would mail it to the next person or something like that. Or maybe I think that was how it worked. And then eventually it would come back to you in like a big envelope, and it would be full of pictures of like your family members with Flat Stanley at different places, and then just like other little bits and pieces like tickets, you know, to the zoo or whatever. And like, that's so cute. Like, you bring your little Flat Stanley to places and then you take pictures with him. And I like kind of want to do something like that with Grace. Except for I don't really know like how we would like make that work, or if it's something she's even interested in. I feel like she would be interested in that, and she would be gung-ho about doing it because it sounds like so much fun to me. But also I could see how it would be weird, like if I'm out at like a bar or doing any number of extracurricular activities and I just like whip out Flat Stanley. That's the name of my, never mind. Can you imagine Flat Stanley? Anyway, that's so but like I don't know if I could just like take a selfie with Flat Stanley in front of the bean. I probably could though. And like me at the cornmeal plant with with Flat Stanley. Like, it's so just like the opportunities they're so never ending. And then like, could you imagine showing like when Grace and I have children? Oh, show our children Flat Stanley, and then like they could take our Flat Stanley and I just couldn't even. I can't even get into the sort of all of the possibilities about Grace and I doing a Flat Stanley. That's something that I need to talk to her about, and I know I'm gonna forget. Yeah, I literally wrote when I have a thought, this is sort of now like this whole podcast and writing notes is like kind of how I'm journaling, because like I said, journaling doesn't really work for me, but like this kind of does, because it gets the thought out of my brain, so I'm not like thinking about something constantly, and then it brings it to this space where I can simply ramble about said thought in like I've got an hour to just do all my thought rambling, and then I'm much better at like sitting in silence or having my brain kind of turn off a little bit. So I've really enjoyed that. Anywho, I wrote, Grace and I should have a Flat Stanley-like object that we send back and forth and take pictures of, and then we can make a scrapbook of it, and then our future children will look at it and it'll be just so fucking cute. That's what I wrote. I know I'm going to forget to tell her about it, and that's going to be heartbreaking. That's going to be heartbreaking. Maybe I should organize my thoughts into like different sections, because there's so many things on here. Let's do one more topic. I'm going to end this like I said, we're figuring out what the structure is, if there's structure. I want to talk about my favorite movies. I kind of like the idea of doing like something of my favorites at the end, because that sounds kind of fun, right? Like favorite foods, favorite movie, favorite this or that. My favorites, like my current favorites. Oh my god, like YouTube, like old school YouTube videos where they would do this is my favorites video, like my March favorites video. I could do that, but like every week, and I could do it with a different topic. Oh my god, that's a great idea. Okay, so welcome to the first segment of favorites. In this section, we're going to talk about my favorite movies, because that's what I wrote down. My favorite movies. So, and these are in no particular order, and maybe we'll dive a little bit into each one. The Yellow Submarine. I love The Yellow Submarine. It is the Beatles movie. It's animated, and it's honestly kind of frightening. I watched this movie all the time growing up. Like, my mom said that, when I'm 64 was like, I would sing it. I just love the movie The Yellow Submarine, and I rediscovered it in college, like my freshman year of college. I was sitting in my dorm room and I bought it on my laptop, and it was so good. And I got hit with, that was probably the biggest wave of nostalgia ever, was rewatching The Yellow Submarine. Would recommend, but also, maybe you could do it with an extracurricular activity as well. And I've showed one person it, and yeah, he had a very he was like, literally, this explains so much about why you are the way that you are. And I was like, thanks. It's a great movie. It's really fun. Number 2, the live action Scooby-Doo 2 movie. The live action Scooby-Doo movie, but the second one too. It's called Monsters Unleashed. It's one of the best films of all time. Freddie Prinze Jr. What's her name? Buffy. The hell's her name? I can't remember her name. It doesn't matter. Matthew Lillard. Oh, it's so good. Hot Velma is in it. I just love it. It is such a good movie. Alicia Silverstone? Is that her name too? Wow, I should have looked up everybody's name. It's a really good movie, and that was before I knew who any of the actors were. When I was a child, I just loved it. I played the computer game, and I did recently buy that and rewatch it, and I've rewatched it a couple times, and it's so funny and great. All right, next one, The Emperor's New Groove. I'm understanding these are all children's movies so far. The Emperor's New Groove, fantastic film. My favorite Disney film, without a doubt. We'll go into, my list of favorite Disney films can be a separate week, but The Emperor's New Groove is my favorite one. It is so funny. It is so funny. I don't care what anybody says. I quote it all the time. I just love it. Clueless. Duh. Fun fact about Clueless, I didn't watch that movie until I was in college. That was the first time I'd watched it, and I was like, this is amazing. Why have I not seen this sooner? But I'm kind of glad I hadn't seen it sooner. So, love Clueless. Obviously, obviously what's his name is hot. And I don't want to hear about how they're siblings. I don't want to hear about how they're step siblings. It's Paul Rudd. I don't want to hear about how they're step siblings. Don't talk about it. We don't need to talk about it. Because I'll talk about that movie and they'll be like, yeah, but then there's step siblings. And I'm like, shut up. That's not important. I wish they weren't, just so people would stop talking about it. Anyway, sorry. I got heated there for a second. Clueless is a good comfort film. But I've watched it so much lately that I have to stop. I can't be doing that. The Barbie movie, I can't get into that right now because I want to write a dissertation on it. I loved the Barbie movie. I thought it was fantastic. I saw it 2 days back to back. I went and saw the Barbie movie. I went and saw it with Grace. Hey, Grace. And then I went and I saw it with my friend Max the next day. And I can't get into it, guys. I really can't. Next on the list, Inglourious Bastards. Fantastic film. So suspenseful. That first scene is crazy. It is crazy. That movie is I just think it's it's just so good. The Harry Potter franchise, of course. And once again, maybe we'll do a list of my favorite Harry Potter films in order at a later date. But the entire franchise as a whole, I just sort of had to include some honorable mentions to this. Ice Age, great movie, fantastic, so funny, so funny. Sid, so funny. One of the funniest nights of my life was Grace and I doing an extracurricular activity, watching Ice Age, and we were peeing our pants laughing. It was so funny. I also really like Juno. I hated Jason Bateman for a really long time. I still can't really decide how I feel about him. And I think it's because of Juno. I think that was my first experience with Jason Bateman, was watching Juno, and I was like, oh. And I've just had a hard time with him ever since then. Sorry, I'm looking at my DVDs that I have. I have 4 DVDs, by the way. It's Ice Age, Juno, 500 Days of Summer, and Love Actually. And those are the 4 DVDs that I currently own, like in hard copy. As I mentioned, I own the Yellow Submarine, the live action Scooby-Doo 2 movie. And I think Mamma Mia 2 I have on my laptop, and I'll rewatch those. But Love Actually is great. Love Actually. A couple more favorites. She's the Man, I think, is so funny. And Sleeping with Other People with Alison Brie and Jason Sudeikis. My favorite rom-com without a single doubt in my mind. It makes me cry every time. When that scene where they're in the bed and she's like, "Are we in love?" And he's like, this is spoilers, by the way, so don't listen if you haven't seen it. You can leave now because I'm just gonna pretty much say goodbye after this. But where he's like, are we in love? Or she says, are we in love? And he says like, yeah. And she's like, well, what are we gonna do about it? And like, I think he says nothing or something like that. Or he's like, what can we do? Oh my God. Just like tears. It makes me like erupt. It's crazy. And it's so funny too. Like that movie is just really funny. Like when they're at the children's birthday party, like it's so funny. So that's my favorite rom-com, but also Clueless. I like Dirty Dancing for comfort. That's like it's raining out, I'm watching Dirty Dancing. And yeah, I think those might be my favorite movies. I'm trying to think like very quickly if there are any other. Let's look at my water bottle and see if there is a Yellow Submarine sticker, and there is a it's the devil version of, oh my God, why did I almost say, I almost said Gronk. Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove. Gronk went to my high school. He went to like prom with 2 girls or something, apparently. I'm talking about Rob Gronkowski, the football player who went to my high school. Sorry, that was a tangent. Yeah, there's no other movies on here, so I think those must be like the ones that are, the most important to me. I'm sure I'll let you know if I think I've forgotten any, and I'm sure I also have forgotten some. But wow, that was a fun snippet. I think I'm gonna do favorites. I'm gonna have to start organizing this so that I have like them in sections, because oh my God, I have so many. Like I'm gonna need to have a random one, I'm gonna need to have an idea one. Okay, that'll be fun. All right, so one other segment that I want to do. Last time we said that I was in my materialistic era, and now this week I want to go and say what new era I'm in. And this is not because of the Eras tour. This is unaffiliated, just a coincidence, and I can't think of a better word. So I'm gonna use the term era. And some weeks it might be the same. This week I'm in my, what era am I in? I would say I'm in my independent era this week. This week I'm really getting out there and doing the things. I'm also in my like hosting era and independent era. And that's all she wrote. And finally, let's summarize briefly what we discussed today. We talked about Grace for most of the podcast. We talked about how Grace is visiting. We went through my shopping list. I'm sure that was fun. Hey, welcome to my podcast where we talk about a girl you don't know and we go over my shopping list. So interesting. I really get it. It's super fun. So we did my shopping list and Grace. We talked about my favorite movies. We talked about the app that I think should be created in order to make shopping easier for people. And we talked about obsessively wearing clothes. And with that, I would recommend everybody go buy Alfie's Future Self brand because it's really nice quality, honestly not horribly priced, and just like generally lovely. And it has such a good, okay, very quickly, let's go over the message behind Future Self for those of you that don't know. It's sort of like his thing, like his saying is, do things for your future self. So, like, if you think about who you want to be in the future, your future self, if you will, and you think about like what they're doing or what they value or what they, do day to day, week to week, and then rather than like waiting to do those things, you become that person today. So for example, if I'm thinking about my future self, I'm thinking about like that person is future Emma, like she's going to the gym, she's eating healthfully, she's having fun, she's having a balanced life, this and that. And so what am I going to do now? I'm going to go to the gym. I'm going to eat healthfully. I'm going to, you know, do all those things that I want for my future self. It's about doing those like today. Because otherwise you're not going to become that person, You sort of just have to start being that person in order for that person to exist. They aren't going to exist in the future unless you start doing the things. So I probably did not a great job of explaining that, and Alfie does a great job of explaining it. So go check out me plugging Alfie to nobody. Go check out Alfie. Yeah, see what he has to say about it. It's pretty cool. And yeah, thank you so much for coming along for this journey. I had so much fun with you guys. And I will see you in the next episode. Bye.